is a combination of that and virtual reality. Plastic glasses that kind of come down over your head. It's almost like a visor, and it connects to this helmet that's sitting there. You get your own visor, you put that in your wash it, what have you. But it connects to this visor that's connected to the ride that you're in, and you go through and you see stuff in 3 dimensions, so you're not there. You've got a virtual reality interacting with the physical world. They call it augmented reality. Yeah, augmented, yeah. Right. Not virtual, which would be everything. Right. Augmented would be 3 features that are digital interacting, you're right, with the physical world. That sounds really cool, though. It's really good. Yeah. In addition to that, each land has their own vibe. You go to the Simpsons land, you've got food that kind of the big donut, they have like this donut there, and it looks exactly like this television show. Well, they have these just at this new Super Mario Brothers restaurant, which is located in this little land called Toto Cafe, kind of like a mushroom. And you go in there, have a couple of different items on there, and they're all tied into the game. And they have either color combinations or croutons or something that are shaped like mushrooms from the game. And it kind of brings you to the Super Mushroom food. They have I can't pronounce the first name, but it ties into the game. It's a crayfish salad. The Luigi Burger crayfish salad at the new Super Mario Brothers restaurant inside Universal Studios. That's unprecedented. It's a big question mark block during this too. Oh, well, question mark block. These things are very good to the game. There's boxes and crates that have a question mark on, and you hit them for points. Throughout the entirety of the land, you can go and hit these boxes, and they'll make the sound, or whatever. You can go and you can actually purchase, I think. I don't think you went and repurchase them, and they are these subscriptions that will attach to your phone. And you can go and play games and get points, and it will count up the points on your phone for the little things that you're doing while you're in line. It's a pretty neat little place. It's got a cool vibe, and it gives you this basic music inside the quote-unquote line. That's very cool. So that's the Universal Studios. By the way, I ever tell you the story about, I mentioned that I was into Donkey Kong came back with Marvel Day. So, and so I had the home version of it, of course, and I'm playing, I really got into it, but I mean, I was too much into it, like one of those addicts who just couldn't leave the house. We went on a ski vacation, my girlfriend, myself, and I played Donkey Kong the whole time. And I loved skiing, okay, but I was like, it was just a fever that overcomes you. You have to, so I'm going level Donkey Kong. And I mentioned this, how much I love Donkey Kong on Good Day LA. I was on Good Day LA at the time. And I get a call and a follow-up letter from the Nintendo people. And they said, if you love this game, we're going to send you some additional games. And they try them out. And if you run into any problems with, because I was getting frustrated on one particular level, I think that's what I was mentioning on Good Day LA, call this number and ask for this guy or whatever. It was like a backdoor number to Nintendo, and he'll walk you through it. So, what's in the, all right, what are you saying? What's the system? Exactly. What are you wearing? Let's get this done. I literally called this number, and, I said, it's a Ruben there, or whatever. I think whoever the person was. And so Ruben comes on the phone and says, yeah, let me, it's good, no problem. You would need to hit the, A button and pull the trigger at the same time when you hit the keys, and that will jump you to the next level. I said, okay, because I'm hitting that level with, like a dozen or even more lives, and I'm losing on that level. He said, no problem, you do that, it should work. So I go into the living room, right away, excited with the information Ruben's just given me, and I play it. And you have to go up a bunch of levels just to get to that point where I was, too. And then I hit the bees in the cave where the bees are. I hit the A button and I pull the trigger at the same time. Boom! I'm dead again. And I hit that level like 22 lives because I'm really crushing the rest of the time. And I just go and hit the button and pull the trigger. Dead again, dead again, and dead again, dead. Then I call Ruben back the next day because to get to that level takes a long time. And I said, hey, this is weird. I'm having trouble. He said, well, you got that A button and the trigger. Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm hitting the A and the trigger. He said, well, that's the way to do it. I mean, I don't know. There's no other fancy backdoor way to get past that level. You telling me that there are four players who are crushing this game right now? Just honestly, yes. This is not something that people get hung up on. I went into the living room, I said goodbye to Ruben. I wrapped up that game, I put it in the closet, and I've never touched it since. It was like, it's over, okay? The dream is dead. I couldn't get past the B level, Neil. But you really, with that knowledge, you didn't want to, no, I couldn't do it. I spent days with that knowledge. I mean, believe it or not, in that super long story, it was actually longer. Every day I went in there. You get into the Nintendo, the Super Mario Brothers Land. If I have PCM3, if you get the Jones, I think I get the King of Kong. God, yes, it's horrific. It is horrific. You couldn't make up. Yeah. King of Kong really is worth our look. But Ray Definition's probably, 8 years old now? Maybe even older. But even the haircuts, you'll notice are like a long ago. But it is really good. And that's the arcade game, King of Kong. So there's a top score on the arcade game. But what you were talking about is the characters who populate this world. And it's the real thing. They are all out there. I don't even know who was the director that would direct those kind of. And I'm trying to think. Like Wes Anderson is one thing. It's just like you couldn't make them up. And they're serious and they're real. And one of them has a wife. I'm thinking, guys are that into it. There probably is no one else in that relationship. There's one of them. The wife is totally cool with him devoting his life. Yeah, to this, pursuit of being the greatest Donkey Kong player. King of Kong is called if you're interested. Neil, I love talking to you. I love talking to you too much. The segment is over before I even have a chance to, Yeah, and the continuum that finds your wildly popular YouTube show. Well, come on inside, would you? Yeah, the great Mark Tompkins show is there on YouTube. Yeah, I follow it. All right. Yeah, I'm you subscribe. Okay, you subscribe. That's all I can ask. That's all. I want you to come on. This is I'm meeting about Neil, we'll catch you on the weekend. The folk report. Looking forward to it, and love you for love you for all you do. My thoughts. They're long. Okay, nice break. Mark Halford here for Jim Kelly Jr. We are KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app now. News in a full hour. Let's go. You can listen to KFI everywhere. Like you haven't noticed. KFI. KOSP 82. Los Angeles, time. Live everywhere. Radio app. Time to do something about it. I'm Michael Berger, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. There's ads and telling measures to help curb anti-Semitic violence in L.A. There says she wants more police patrols and more license plate readers. It is so important that we act aggressively and immediately at the first sign of anything. That's going Jewish leaders and other city officials for a town hall on anti-Semitism. The town hall last night comes less than a week after 2 Jewish men were shot in L.A. The alleged shooter was charged with federal hate crime. I email it all day, every day. I've been behind the one for the Hall of Justice in downtown. Near the entrance of the building, someone reported the device about 4:30 this afternoon. Officials say it had 7 black cylinders connected by wires in a honeycomb shape. A19 was called in, followed by an RC unit. About 2 hours later, it was determined the device was actually a set of colored lights used to dance parties. The Hall of Justice is the headquarters for the LA County Sheriff and District Attorney. California Democratic Congresswoman Barbara Lee has announced she's running for Dianne Feinstein's Senate seat. She's retiring at the end of her current term. Lee posted a video on Twitter talking about these personal and professional battles in her life. And even though there's no African-American women in the United States Senate, we want to let that side right here. That's on the side of Israel from any state or anywhere on the whatever state you want, whatever country you want. I don't really want to see the United States. I want to see whatever country is a landlocked country in Africa. And I feel like we should be able to have not just a height, I mean, you've seen it. It's like 100 feet across, or like at least 30 meters. And it's a 4-inch. And it uses
nuclear power to be able to tunnel wherever you need to go. So these are used in the deep space that have been for 50 years. That's how it goes. That's running down military bases. But essentially that type of technology is available in the public now with large organizations who are checking out. And what really needs to be done is perhaps run pipelines to these things and then to desalinate these plants. And then the states have an unlimited supply of fresh water for the citizens at minimal cost in comparison to some of the environmental impacts that you can have when you water from local impact. And if you know anything about water, Nestle, the company, has almost a monopoly on drinking water in many countries. So hopefully perhaps allow states countries to free themselves up from that type of monopoly. So that was definitely one of the discussions that we had, and kind of kept feedback on that topic. Also, tidal power and putting perhaps turbines in the ocean at the same time. So in addition, while you're pumping the water into wherever it needs to go, desalination plants, you can also put turbines in the ocean, just like people have them wind turbines. You put them in the ocean, it's much, much stronger, and use that as a potential way to get ourselves off that was more by
regulate calcium, an important mineral for how the heart pumps blood, which can lead to lasting problems, including irregular heartbeats and heart failure. The damage isn't necessarily permanent, but more research is needed. Jennifer Jones, please. Hey, I knew it. I was playing other people if I could win.
Essentially, I wanted to do more harvest some of the wealth of the ocean inland. So one of the ways that we can do it is by pumping water inland. That's one idea, at least desalination. Another idea that we talked about last week was tidal power. You can use that to perhaps power desalination, but also everything else in your community. Just like hydroelectric power, like what you have in Niagara Falls or many other hydroelectric plants or Hoover Dam, that's a small amount of hydroelectric power in comparison to the ocean's power. If you put the same kind of turbines that you have at the Hoover Dam in the ocean, you could easily power the United States and therefore and on top of that the world pretty easily, just you need to scale it based on the amount of turbines that you use in the ocean. I'm not saying that's the only way. Nuclear is the future of energy, but it is a way, it is a creative way to get power from the ocean. But the two ideas were separate. It's not that you have to use that. Anything can be used to get power in the
Valley area, pretty much all the way up into West and then
oh, it's not a dam, it's a turbine. So basically, you just have to think of like a turning fan, just like you have in the air, ocean. And every time a wave comes by, which is every 2 seconds, that's going to turn that turbine, turn that fan, which can create power. And it's much stronger power than you get
or to the north, head up to the 91 freeway of Cedar 15. Hey, up in the sky, help get you there faster. I'm Lisa Martinez. This Valley Comedy Show is being brought to you by Trillion Water. You can complete whole house water-filled drinking system for $0 and $49 a month.
Turbine
Water.com.
That can make off of the coast, essentially, where we have little environmental impact.
Or just for fun.
Almost unlimited power. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, you're going to have corrosion with salt water. You're going to have some animals and things that perhaps cause pollution. And also, it's the feasibility of that thing out there. You can take consideration all kinds of other things like that. Definitely have to keep in mind. But it is a way that you can power things and it's much, much more efficient than wind power. Wind power is great, but imagine the power that you get from even a strong breeze as opposed to a wind. A wind is much stronger. Now imagine that almost 10 degrees when it comes to power generation. It's really something that I feel that breeze or one other thing about it, you can put them underwater so that you don't see them. Essentially, they're not as isolated as people as well.
I want to remind you about something people can steal your home. My friend had his home stolen. The crime is home title theft. It's real. It's horrendous, but it's real and it's everywhere. Now, luckily, this was just a demo, but I saw how criminals all around the world target American homeowners, and that's why I protect my home with home title lock, and you need to as well. And a thief can simply force your signature on a legal document saying you sold your home to them. Homeowners insurance and common health benefits programs do not protect you. I home title lock, but I didn't know I have two personal friends free no obligation verification that your home is still in your name. You register for 30 days of protection for free. So the home title lock, promo code SHARP, is free no obligation. That's home title lock.com, promo code SHARP. Running out of hot water, visit waterheatersonly.com.
And then from there, normally with the single family, and that's hard to try, just a big white mat. No, there's a story though that comes out of this that because people have said this that like I don't know how much it's true, but essentially you find this plane, a little like 2-seater plane, a 1-seater plane. Now imagine it on a undercut and just following his navigation compass and all of his instruments on his panel go awry, and it starts spinning. Now he's thinking that this has something to do with going like directly over the South Pole. Maybe that has something to do with it. As he gets away from that area, it's going to happen. His plane then started to move in a way that
LA Fire Department
was not controlled, but in a very calm manner, making a landing over a green field, not what you would think of Antarctica. Now, when you think of Antarctica, really, most people think it's all white all the time, like on a globe or on a map, and it's not. There are some places, not people have crops there. People have tried to have crops there. It doesn't work. People have tried to have cows there. It doesn't work. In fact, there was a cow that was born there. Named Iceberg in the 1960s. People have really tried to make this happen. It's just not working. There's a little bit of green around there. Now, does that mean
I will say that this brought to mind the story that I wanted to talk to Neil Sabager about, which was that there's a guy, you may be aware of the story, who survived at sea a month eating only ketchup, and I think there were some like those little cubes that are the
Boyden?
yes, Boyden
and
cubes,
also
exactly.
garlic and the powder and some seasoning like on
For a month, he survived at sea eating that, but the centerpiece of his survival was eating a high ketchup, and I
so
wanted
there
to
is
get
land
Neil
under miles of ice. And yes, it's really interesting to think what's preserved under all that ice as well. But yeah, it might have had lush vegetation at one point, just dependent on the temperature of the earth. So we have to think meteorite impact, the earth has had a lot of different temperatures, and essentially at one time, all of the oceans perhaps could have boiled at their major cataclysmic event, with certainly with a lot of water, but also just the heating of the earth due to other causes that we wouldn't necessarily have ice there, and perhaps it was a very large vegetation. There are stories, I don't know how credible they are, of Romans and ancient cultures actually making it that far south. And so, and that's how they would describe like a wall of ice, like ice wall. But as for Al Gore, I don't know how credible that story is. He said that he had some kind of feeling or encounter that basically told him that it was there was like another meteor on Earth, and that there wasn't anything about the story, and he basically put on his way back to make his landing. He didn't have much fuel left. He was able to land. Sadly, he told his family and maybe some other people, but there's always been this interesting aura of the admiral bird flight at Antarctica. And since then, it's interesting. Not many people go there. It's also interesting. Not anybody's allowed to make war on it. And, we don't have, there are permanent missions there, but they're all for scientific study. But now, more and more people are starting to go there. I think that, especially, people are going to learn a lot more about it. And it has a lot of interesting things. I think it's been discussed as the world's largest scientific lab. And if anything, I do know that like Nazis that are there it is much easier to find meteorites in Antarctica than anywhere else on Earth. They're black on the white tundra, on the white ice. So, I mean, it does have a lot to perhaps for us to discover, not just on this planet, but other planets as well.
I guess they're trying to find them, but wouldn't it be funny if it was like Hunt? Oh yeah, well, chances are it's not Heinz ketchup, right? Probably not. I mean, this isn't ketchup, Heinz or a bunch of, now there are a bunch of ketchup. It seems there are more ketchup choices than ever. I just remember Heinz growing up. Yeah, Heinz and Heinz are the big ones. Yeah. And every once in a while, you make the mistake of getting a Del Monte or looking just full of shit crap. But I'm trying to think who the regionals were that fought it out, the battle. It was obviously Heinz being one of them. Had a big cat. I think it was Heinz. And we went back and forth, right? And then battled it out. It's actually a big deal. Funny enough, for the reward points for extra credit, yes, what country or make it as well, but what country did it was, well, at the ball, what's that going to say, Heinz, was ketchup. So from what country did it emerge, is what you're asking? I would say, I guess Italy, because it's tomato sauce. No, not only did it not come from Italy, but tomatoes were originally in yes. Oh, is that right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tomatoes came much later to Italy. It was not part of their original. Wow. And those particular Mexicans are not part of that area. This is the deep home reporter knowledge. Asia? I think it might be. Yeah. Wow. And it was never done with tomatoes, primarily just fruit and other things. So I know tomatoes are fruit, so yeah, definitely don't light them up. The difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is knowing that the tomatoes are fruit, and wisdom is not putting them in a fruit salad. It originated as a thin soy sauce made from fermented fish, most likely from a region called something, or in what we call Vietnam today. Vietnam, for sure. Wow, that's really impressive. Talk about sticking the landing. That was very good. Yeah, it's different when you're here. I got it out again. It's really strong. In ketchup, it's pronounced ketchup, which is a Chinese word from that translates to the brine of pickled fish. Oh, I thought it meant pull up. I get it. Don't lie. Ketchup. I get it. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You stuck the landing. Wasn't good enough for him. I would have to credit and broke my ankle. Yeah, exactly. Thanks for doubling back. Yeah, you're very structured there. Good luck with the Heinz search. The ketchup is mostly sugar.
Have you ever seen the documentary Files on JFK?
Yeah. I wonder why it tastes so good.
You watch that documentary.
What did I do with it? The interview with the guy that moved. Oh, yeah. That's right. I looked at him and I said, he goes,
this is firsthand. This is firsthand interview. Also, Oliver Stone's interview. I'll send it to you.
Neil Sebastian, sports reporter.
Files on JFK and how it happened. And it's very interesting.
So we're hanging out. Tim is sick. I'll be back tomorrow. Mark Thompson here on KFI AM 640. Live everywhere on our radio app. Now Michael Crozier in the KFI 24-hour news. The LA City Council adjourned today's meeting in honor of Bishop David O'Connell, who was shot to death in his home over the weekend. The Environmental Protection Agency has ordered Norfolk Southern Rail to clean up the train wreck and chemical release in Ohio, or pay triple the cost if the UCA does the cleanup. And a $100 million lawsuit's been filed against the city of New York, the state of New York, the FBI, and the CIA by the family of Malcolm X. The evidence was concealed over his assassination in Manhattan 8 years ago. We'll take a look at the 57th freeway. the thought of one thing is the value things you can't control. And addressing hair loss is real toxic, right? So my friends have advanced hair restoration for years, even decades. So hair loss is simple one-day treatment. And the information, then you're wrong. You don't have to hair begins to grow very next day. And it's all backed by the advanced hair guarantee. So we're both positive, getting hairline, cutting hair, nails, trimming, wire, and of course, it works. So the operations are based and it's hair. Changing the lives of tens of thousands.
I see them all too. So that's one thing. I've probably seen every documentary consider myself an expert on the topic, and I see everyone that's going to that all the ones on the internet are telling you this is the one that is pivotal with the book. And so it's just
I'm inspired with before and after pictures at the website advancedhair.com. Advancedhair.com. To the class in Brave.
Northbound before Imperial Highway, blocking the two-middle lanes, cars were there are now receiving a backup all the way from Ball Road out of Anaheim. Wait, there's more on the 57 southbound just before Imperial Highway. That's another wreck, the left-hand spot, and that's flowing down the drive away from Connor Canyon Road. Both directions of Ortega Highway remain off limits in San Capistrano at Nichols Institute for cleanup after an earlier crash. Hopefully by 6:30, coming up pretty soon, we should have those lanes reopened. We'll keep you posted right here on KFI. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Angel Martinez.
It's Ross Sutter. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Network, presented by DraftKings. There's a new special teams coordinator for the Rams, Chase Blackbird, who spent last year with the Titans. He was an assistant special teams coach. He replaces Josie Camillus, who was left there in January. The Clippers trade Nate Riley days after he was signed to a two-way contract. The Hawks have fired head coach Nate McMillan, and they're turning to Joe Punky as interim coach. The Flying Guys reported out in 30-club Eastern Conference playoff spot. I'm Frank Adams. Hey, it's Ross Sutter. If you'd like to make things a little more interesting, download look for the newest episodes of the Even Money Podcast with DraftKings, releasing every Tuesday. Available wherever you listen to podcasts, football and betting. The Even Money Podcast.
This report is sponsored by Waterboy Whole House Filtration System. The Waterboy Whole House Filtration System brings fresh, clean water right to your tap. Call 1-800-WATERBOY now. Clean water for drinking, showering, cooking, laundry, and more. Call 1-800-WATERBOY. That's 1-800-WATERBOY.
The tech is good, the experience is smooth, and the reviews online are wonderful. At GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call us America's Best Car Buyers for nothing. They'll let you know. Only iHeartRadio gives you access to all. iHeartRadio has access to all of your favorite radio stations. He's Ryan T. Craig. I go by the name of Charlemagne the God.
Hi, Ellen K.
Bobby Volunteer. Hold on, play everything for access to all of the best free curated playlists. My favorite music, my songs. A little bit of everything. Access to all the great podcasts for every impact. Especially to know podcasts. The Daily Show podcast. Phil Hillary with Colin Cowherd and best of all, it doesn't cost to pay. Download the absolutely free iHeartRadio app now. Those are my favorite Hollywood actors when someone proves the loss of torture. You can't accept your spouse or your loved one anymore. And they go back into the jury room for deliberation. They'll handle inevitably. You got some guy who is sickly things. I haven't gotten waiting 20 years to think I'm going to give them some money. It's live 6 to 9 a.m. on KFI. And on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. I'm on a tour of myself with an ass and you. What no other people jumping in on you. I'm KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. It's the highlight show. Mark Thompson sitting in for Tim. We're watching the whole storm move down to SoCal tonight. It'll bring rain and snow, and we're watching that among other stories. In fact, this related to that story. Just past 6:35, we'll have Rick Vickers in, who's the meteorologist from Fox 11 LA. We'll talk to him. LA County Fire is equipping all paramedic units with CPR devices. As we follow also the two Vanderbilt University deans who are suspended. Because they used ChatGPT to write a 297-word email to students about the deadly mass shooting at Michigan State. And they realized that when Vanderbilt realized that administration that they were using ChatGPT. It was essential for these two Vanderbilt University deans. A smuggling boat washes ashore at Orange County. Well, there's a lot of boat theme going on. The guy who survived on Heinz ketchup or ketchup, we don't know that it was Heinz. In fact, it probably wasn't Heinz, but Heinz is now after him to sort of make him the poster boy for Heinz ketchup. He survived on that and bouillon cubes and some garlic for a month at sea. Anyway, this story that a smuggling boat has washed ashore at Huntington Beach. Several people have been detained. It was discovered around 9 o'clock near Lifeguard Tower 14, those of you who know the Huntington Beach area. The boat ran aground, and law enforcement officers from multiple agencies responded, and several people were detained in connection with the boat, or restrained, loaded into the United States Customs and Border Protection van, and several barrels of what appeared to be fuel also recovered at the scene. The boat was discovered by passers-by, and then cops did the rest. I was thinking about the guy who survived on the ketchup and on the bouillon cube. You know, I just mentioned him to you. And Heinz is trying to find it to be their poster boy. And I was thinking about that Robert Redford movie that came out a few years ago, where he is like a virtuoso mariner, okay? And it's only him in the entire movie on a boat, and he's lost at sea. When we pick up the action, as I recall, he's literally coming to from some storm in which he has been suffered a blow to the head. He's been in the middle of this storm, and it's a very nice boat, but it's like a two-person boat or something, and he's navigating it himself. He comes to, it's been breached. The hull of the boat has been broken. And it was broken by, as I recall, one of those big Meyer cargo things that had clearly fallen off a ship and smashed into his boat. All is lost. All is lost. Thank you. That's exactly what he calls it. 2013. Robert Redford. And I think there is literally one line of dialogue in it. Meaning he says something, he explains something during this hour and a half or 2 hour movie. Otherwise, it's just him, the boat, and all these ways that he's trying to both survive as the water continues to rise inside the boat, and as he's trying to navigate where he is. And so he has a limited number of flares and, inflatable things and this sort of thing. And it was fascinating, especially if you're not a mariner, but maybe even more so if you are a mariner. I don't know. But it got me thinking, so there's that, the guy who survived, this is a real story that we just told you about, the guy who survived on ketchup and bouillon cubes and garlic for a month. What other big, either lost at sea or, crashing at sea movies can you think of? Now, I mean, I suppose there was the Mark Wahlberg film, was it Perfect Storm? Oh, with George Clooney? Yeah. That's one, right? I mean, yeah, that was a great movie, and that's a true story. So that was one of them that I can think of.
Did you say Castaway?
No, Castaway is brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. Dead Calm. Dead Calm. I don't know. Nicole Kidman. What happened to Dead Calm? I love that title. Yeah, out sailing, they attempt to try to take their minds off the loss of their son. A married couple come across a stranded stranger. They're able to pay off for kindness and help. That's the story. It becomes apparent that not everything is a team with the stranger. Oh, I love that. Oh, I can't wait to watch it. Billy Bailey. Oh, here's the bad guy. What is it? I mean, the thing about Castaway and about the movie All Is Lost that we mentioned is that there is no bad guy. That it's in the case of Redford's movie, it's him versus the elements, and just his wits about him, what he knows about the ocean and navigating the ocean, and the same thing with Hanks, right? Hanks in Castaway, he ultimately just has to, that's what makes the challenging, I'm sure, from an acting perspective, but also a filmmaking perspective. Life of Pi was pretty good.
Yeah, there's a good one.
Yeah, White Squall. White Squall, never saw it. You said, get them? Oh,
Captain
Jeff
Phillips.
Bridges. I'm sorry, Jeff Bridges, yeah. Captain Phillips, terrific. Captain Phillips. Adapted for the screen by the great Billy Ray, friend of the show.
Right?
Yeah. I think he won the Writers Guild Award for that. And what I'm sure people say to him all the time is, what? I'm the captain now. from that movie. I mean, who's the captain now? Or I'm the captain now? Yeah. Oh, yeah, what is it? I don't know. I thought it was I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain now.
Yeah, I'm the captain. But Poseidon Adventure, it was, look, the Poseidon Adventure was, at the time, one of those Irwin Allen disaster films. You had Gene Hackman in it, Shelley Winters, Stella Stevens, who just had passed away in the last few days.
That was one of those movies that was on like either right before or right after Mars was sports on Saturday afternoons on TV. It was always on.
Yeah, there was and I mean this with all respect, there was a cheesy aspect, but also a kind of, at the time, there was a good aspect. Ernest Borgnine was in it. Yeah. It was real, but also felt a little Irwin Allen-y, like, I don't know. But then the remake was really awful. And the remake, sadly, I knew the guy who produced the remake, and he said, oh, yeah, he said, they didn't spend enough time. They wanted to flip the boat right away. You can't do it. You can't flip the boat right away. You've got to develop characters. And then when you flip the boat, we care more about the characters, one guy's a gambler and he has to gamble on what door to open and all that stuff.
You know how many Academy Awards the Poseidon Adventure was nominated for, the original?
Oh, I can't imagine how it was.
Wow. Wait for that thing.
That really is crazy. It really is. Hey, look, I mean, for the time,
Yeah.
And I think, now they do a lot of stuff with special effects. At the time, they really had to build some set where they flip a boat and all this stuff, so, or a part of a boat. So, those are the ones that come to mind. But it's a real challenge, and yet it's a built-in level of danger and excitement when you're at sea, right? And there's mystery to it too, like The Deep, that movie with Ed Harris. I think that was a James Cameron film, man. That movie. So, yeah. But that was disappointing. I know a lot of people, but again, it was,
I think that was like his first foray into really long, drawn out, and sort of like obstacle aspect to it. And I think it's kind of, people weren't used to it at that point.
Yeah, it didn't quite pay off the way I would have liked, but I think the good ones we mentioned at the beginning, the Castaway and a Redford film, and then Perfect Storm, Life of Pi, those were all really fun. Anyway, interesting. I hope they find that Heinz guy. He can just tell us what really happened out there, surviving on ketchup and bullion too. It is the Conway Show on KFI AM 640. Tim's back tomorrow night. Mark Thompson sitting in. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, now into the KFI 24-hour newsroom, and Michael Crosby.
Kyle started for former LA Deputy Mayor Raymond Kim, he is taking part in former Councilman Jose Regar's crazy scheme.
He allegedly agreed to accept more than $100,000 from a George Chang, who is a real estate development consultant, for official acts to benefit a project by a Chinese real estate developer.
U.S. Attorney spokesman Karen McAvoy says the scheme granted special treatment to real estate developers in exchange for bribes. Jose Regar pleaded guilty last month to running the operation. This before brought to by Jacoby Miners Attorneys LLC. Seattle City Council has become the first city in the U.S. to outlaw caste-based discrimination. That's a division of people based on birth or descent. From Hindu Americans, state law verifies the specific communities. People in favor of the rule say caste discrimination crosses national and religious boundaries, and without them, those facing discrimination in the U.S. are not protected. Stocks in the U.S. have tumbled to its biggest drop since December after markets were closed for President's Day. KFI financial analyst Jason Middleton told Gary Shannon people are worried because retail took a hit. When that happens, they're nervous the Fed to raise interest rates again. I think people are paying the big off of their cards right now and not using any capital to buy new stuff. Home Depot sells one of the market's bigger lawsuits. Walmart says consumers pressured by inflation are shopping for lower price items, and that can negatively impact margins. And the coffee giant that introduced you to the Frappuccino is now testing out olive oil coffee. Starbucks is testing Oleato, infused with cold pressed extra virgin olive oil from Sicily. Starbucks says the line represents the next revolution in coffee. It comes in 5 drinks. The
Oleato latte, golden foam cold brew, and ice shaken espresso. The Oleato deconstructed and espresso martinis are exclusive to Starbucks reserve locations. It's going to do Italy tomorrow in the Southland this spring. We'll check the Q10 freeway coming up. Let's talk about Milano. Yeah, your granny gift giveaway. You get an electro pulse massager. When you're in 5 of the points on your rewards card on the 27th or the 28th. Let's do 285 fight night live. Yeah, grab a snack or a beverage and join the broadcast viewing party at the Sideline Sports Sportsbook on March 4th. Also, it's unanimous. Both the LA Times and Inland Empire magazine, all of the readers voted Milongo the best. So that is fantastic. Playing dine, you can earn $100 a day in dining credits just by playing slots with your reward card. And it's also party time in the pits. Play table games with your reward card. You can win up to $100 in promo tips on Friday from 2 to 10 p.m. Milongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good time for everybody. Breezy, cool tonight, lows around 40 degrees, mostly clear and cooler tomorrow, about 5 degrees. Another 5 degree drop on Thursday. Yeah, the rain's going to start coming in late tomorrow night, and that's going to end until Sunday morning. It's 57 in Placentia, 53 in Medina Miguel, something in Irwindale.
This is along the 210 westbound at Vernon. This is a crash in the carpool in Westland. You're going to be here a while longer. Delays away from Grand. Eastbound slowing on the 210, loading up out of Pasadena from the 134 freeway. The Pier Drive will see the highways go off limits. Both directions at Nichols Institute to clean up after an earlier crash. Going through his jams and stopped up all the way from Antonio Parkway. If you see something different, pound 250, keyword play ally traffic, the highway patrol told us that. It should be around 6:30. Hopefully that was a target time to reopen, but we're still waiting for an update. And also in Boyle Heights, there's a crash reported on the 5 northbound coming up on 7th Street. Drawing details that drive is loading up within the 101. KFI in the sign helps get you there faster. I'm into Martinez. On the podcast, The Last Soviet, Last Death, Coming Safe, shares his own experiences of astronaut training in Russia. That's true, and tells the story of the final cosmonaut, a man trapped in space while his nation crumbled to the ground.
His name is Sergei Krebs. He's a Soviet cosmonaut and he's manning the world's only space station, the pride and joy of the USSR.
Listen to The Last Soviet on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Homeowners, stop worrying about drinking harmful water. Get a Puritan whole house water filtration and conditioning system for $0 down and just $49 a month. Go to PuritanWater.com.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to get stressed and sick, worried, or frustrated. Take command. With Calho's free and secure mental health resources, it's easy to get the help you and your loved ones need when you need it the most. Call our one line at 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else. And we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We love to figure out iHeartMedia can work for you. From the cell dial pound 250 and say keyword great result. That's pound 250 and say yes. Yeah, visit UKFood.org or call 833-422-4255. That's the dedication to treat COVID-19. Brought to by the California Department of Public Health.
This Black History Month and everything, USCS uplifts the history and culture of the African American community and salutes the past, present, and future of excellence and high achievement at historical black colleges and universities. Over the years, HBCUs have consistently graduated outstanding Americans of all backgrounds who have made great contributions to the prosperity and stability of our nation. This month, let us get with the new generation of black activists, leaders, artists, business owners, and educators. Go to UNCF.org/donate today to get a money is a terrible thing to do. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
is Tuesday night in Los Angeles. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Conway Show. Mark Thompson sitting in for Kim, who's under the weather. Should be back tomorrow. LA County flying flags at half-staff in honor of slain Bishop David O'Connell. This is one of the stories we're monitoring. The Montclair triple homicide authorities are releasing photos of the at-large suspect, a relative of the victim. And the other big story we're watching is this cold storm moving down into Southern California late today and tonight. We're already experiencing a little bit of it. It's been pretty potent in northern parts of the state. There's power outages associated with it. It's going to bring rain and snow. And it's promised. Here he is from Fox 11 News, the meteorologist on Fox 11 LA. He's Rick Dickert, everybody. How about it for Rick Dickert? Hi, Rick.
Hey there, Mark. Good to be with you here. Yeah, we're talking about a very cold weather system dropping south out of Canada with a bullseye right on Southern California. You can feel it outside now. Already some scattered light showers out there. Temperatures are plummeting. Yesterday it was 74 degrees, beautiful in LA, just north of what's average for this time of year. By Thursday, in the coldest portion of this low pressure system, Mark, moves into our area. The forecast high temperature, the warmest it will get, only 52 degrees, and it's the low snow levels that we're really watching. We're talking about snow levels 1,600 feet, maybe even a little bit lower. That means if you're at an elevation, if your neighborhood, your backyard is at 1,600 feet or above, you will likely see maple snow. That's Lake Elsinore. That's other parts of the Inland Empire. That's the foothills of the San Gabriel Mountains. That's the Los Vicente Valley, the communities of Sahunga, the north end of the San Fernando Valley, Simi Valley, definitely Canyon Country, the Santa Clarita Valley, and the Antelope Valley. Forget about it. Under a winter weather advisory, several inches of snow likely in Palmdale and Lancaster that could pose major traffic problems for state route 4.
And so what's the timing on all of that, Rick?
Tonight the cold air moves in. We're going to see some scattered showers, and snow could fall in the foothills and the mountains overnight tonight, with the snow level dropping rapidly. Some negatives are possible in the Antelope Valley by tomorrow morning, and those adjacent foothill areas. But the bulk of the heavy precipitation, Mark, will hold off. And so we're looking at least 4 days of rain, snow, wind, and cold in Southern California. Not going to be a complete washout for those 4 days. We will get some dry breaks. Won't be surprised if we can see a little bit of sunshine at times, but it will rain each of those days with the heaviest rain late Thursday into Friday, and it's those snow levels that will drop. Not unprecedented. You know, Mark, that we have a short memory when it comes to climatological and meteorological events here in Southern California. In terms of the low snow levels, you can expect this perhaps every 5+ years or so. But it's the highest elevation of the mountains because of this dynamic system, and because we could tap into a weak atmospheric river in AR. That's the travel connection, that bulk of moisture coming up from south of Hawaii into California. We could be knowing snow at the highest elevations of the transverse range. That's the San Bernardino Mountains, the San Gabriel Mountains, the Los Padres National Forest, of 5 feet or more. And that could cause problems, yes, with avalanches. The buildings up in Big Bear, remember, Big Bear lake level is 6,700 feet. They are just going to get a jumping, a very dangerous storm moving into Southern California.
And this is very interesting because normally when you get cold weather like this, typically the storm systems that move through at the same time are not as wet because you don't have cold air with the capacity to hold as much moisture as you do these warm weather systems, the tropical connections, that's the atmospheric river that Rick's talking about. But when you have the invasion of cold air from the north and the atmospheric river, that's what drives this kind of perfect storm.
That's exactly right. And initially, the rainfall totals won't be all that much. As you said, Mark, that cold air can't hold as much moisture. So we're going to see mostly scattered light activity for the next 24 hours. But once you start tapping into that heat from the southwest, that AR, mixing in with that cold air, then you have that orographic lift, that slow air up the south and southwest facing slopes of our transverse range that I just mentioned. You're going to get even higher precipitation totals. Still with that cold air in place, and we will see a jumping. Will this get us out of the drought? It can make a chance for sure. We're in great shape with our snowpacks, our reservoirs are filling up. We're going to need a couple of seasons like this, but by the end of March, I would say we are going to hear from water officials, and they're going to say that we're in really good shape. We need to get the potential for significant
raining. We're talking about 2 to 4 inches when all is said and done in downtown LA, in the valley by Saturday.
What is your next weather hit on Fox 11, Rick Dickers?
650, 655 ish.
So I do have time then to ask you to regale the audience, if you would, about how you owe your entire career to me. I wonder if you don't have to do the whole story, but if you do,
Let me stop. Forget about the storm for a moment. Let me just talk a little bit about how you work with it. How it's really relaxed.
are you playing? Hang on a second. Jamie, are you playing with his connection? So at his most important part where he's talking about me? Whoa. He said, let me do it. No. Rick, I'm sorry we lost you. Please, I don't know where you started, but if you could again. You don't have to make it long. In 60 seconds or less, please talk about how critical I am to your career.
You truly are. You hired me on as an intern when I was just a struggling college kid with a new baby. You took me under your wing, and I worked hard to figure that out. Operation, you're prepared and you get that opportunity, and I did the best I could to make you proud, and we built an empire together with a weather watching network, and with neighborhood weather, and it was a great marriage, and I really did learn. Yeah. I really would love from you, and you hear me in my presentation. You hear yourself in my presentation.
I do, actually. I will say that as the story has evolved through the years, it's more about how we did it together than it is about how I made your life what it is. But I understand. It was a partnership. I don't blame you. You were an integral part of that partnership. So I adore you. I think you are absolutely the best. And when it comes to weather, you can hear Rick knows his stuff, and he has that passion and emotion in the presentation. It's terrific. You did a great job. So, give me all the times now over on Fox 11 people can watch before we go away.
First of all, it's a SoCal, space out there. It's just kind of joy that still get through the defense space. It's just too smart. If you have to travel during the wet period out of the next 4 days, always allow yourself, I would say, Mark, 1 minute per mile. For every mile that you typically drive in the conditions, there's add an extra minute. So if you just typically a half hour, give yourself an hour. Obviously, set the decision. Maybe the highest, probably 50 miles an hour. Don't risk on the freeway at 75 miles an hour. You can go open. See how it's looking. That's so hard to on. Make sure the wind will
Yes, we know. Be careful driving. I get it. When you don't like one, blah, blah, blah. When can people see you on Fox 11? What happened to him? He's cutting out. What happened? I don't know where he is. It's his connection. Oh, it's his connection? Oh.
Yeah. You mind saying
Are you? Yeah. Are you calling us from microwave oven or something? Why are you doing that?
No. I'm on the outside. I'm on the outside of the studio.
Tell us, Rick,
in about 10 minutes. Yeah. In about 10 minutes, and then on the Fox 11 News at 10, I'll be all over that hour from 10 to 11 with Marla and Alex.
It's great. Look, you did a great job. Everybody should check it out. And obviously, we need the information more than ever. All kidding aside, thank you so much for being part of it.
Thank you much for having me.
All right, Rick Dickey, everybody. Good stuff. And I guess it sounds like a very potent series of weather systems moving through for the next 4 days. Wow. It's the Conway Show. Mike Hudson sitting at the Tim. We'll talk to Mo Kelly next as we continue. KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. Now, into the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Michael Coach, Daily County Fire Department, the largest public safety agency in the country to have mechanical CPR devices with every paramedic unit. Who was deployed by the middle of this year. Rick Griner's re-signed with the Executive Agency Mercury after returning from Russia in December, where she was imprisoned for 10 months over fake cartridges found in her luggage. And a bill in Florida is being considered that would make it illegal for a dog to sit in the driver's lap or stick their head out of the window of the dog of a moving vehicle, with a punishment that includes the ban on owning animals. The 210 freeway next. With inflation hitting 30-year highs and prices going through the roof, we're all wondering what's coming next for the economy. Historically, one investment always withstood the test of time, and that's precious metal. That's why the top economists agree that some gold and silver belong in every portfolio and retirement plan. Which America has been a trusted leader in precious metals like gold and silver for 40 years. We have an A-plus for the BBB, and it serves well over 60,000 customers, and that includes me. Swiss America clued me into the fact that silver is in demand for military, solar, and even the tech industry. Plus, it's very attractively complimentary price for now, and that makes it a perfect hedge against inflation. Call or text and ask about their free report, The Timeless Truth About Gold and Silver. Learn how to properly diversify your portfolio, help protect your assets against inflation with this free report. Call or text 800-289-2646, 800-289-2646, or visit SwissAmerica.com/Conway. From the Southern California Toyota dealer traffic center, let's go places. There's a crash in Irwindale.
Making your way from that westbound side, 6 pounds burning, carpool left lane for many blocks, away from Grand, eastbound calling out of Pasadena, using the 134 freeway. Now up to Ortega Highway, both directions have been closed at Nichols Institute. Now,
Thank you. I do. Had a question earlier about the DSA assessment, and I wanted him to be aware that I DM'd him tweets that I put out about it to the documentary that I had referenced on James Profile. Also, if you have a chance, since it is Tinfoil Tuesday, I put in the chat quite a repository of things that I recently sent that are very interesting. I think they're very interesting. And now that I have the ability to put a glue that 4,000 character tweets, I appreciate it if you take a look. So, for instance, one thing we were referencing was a timeline of UFO encounters, and so that's something that you'll see down there. You'll also see some tweets to, like, why don't we have physical evidence of aliens? Why don't they show themselves? Also, there's social projects in there, Project Eagle, something venting about Nikola Tesla, and Rabbi. That's about futuristic technology. Some things about computer interfaces and holographic texting. Additionally, things about the network. And take a look at it. I gotta hop off for a few moments, but I do want to know if you get it. And if you have any questions, feel free to email, okay?
Live from the Hayes bedroom, it's another eventful night.
Well, I completely understand that. Have a take a look at what I put in the chat. It's all really interesting. I think it's really organized. All the packages
Absolutely brilliant. Inspires the kids with a click of a remote. No mask and no home. Learn more at InspiredSleep.com.
Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspiredSleep.com.
Are you tired of living with chronic joint pain, like knee pain or shoulder pain, pain in your hip pain?
Next Generation Pain Management has arrived. Here it is QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in cutting-edge regenerative medicine. Now, regenerative medicine is the all-natural process that uses highly concentrated healing properties from your own body, putting them directly into your achy joints and restoring and repairing that damaged tissue.
We're talking lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. ROTHSCHILD has been doing this for years. Now you can too.
QC Kinetics has over 100 clinics in America and now here with regenerative solutions that can get you moving again pain-free.
If you are sick of living with pain from arthritis or injury, call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics for a free consultation.
3 locations, Glendale, Mission Viejo, and Orange. Call 213-997-PAIN. QC Kinetics, 213-997-PAIN. That's 213-997-PAIN. The whole idea of male contraceptives in a pill form, single dose, renders firm and mobile for up to 2.5 hours. Now, I remember from my sex ed class, they can live for like 2 days.
And then they wake up and go,
Live 7 to 10 p.m. on JFI. And on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
No idea how
KFI AM 640, Mark Thompson here for Jim Conway Jr. Back tomorrow. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. As you know, if you missed any of that show, we talked about a lot of stuff. The murder of that auxiliary bishop in Los Angeles. Alex Stone had a great drill down on that. We did 2 segments on it. You can find it on the podcast. We talked about the storm that's moving in for about 4 days. If you missed that, that's also on the podcast. We talked about Rust, the movie that will resume shooting, and now the revised charges against Alec Baldwin. That's also available on the podcast. So a lot you can go back and check out at your leisure. We're watching news headlines into the night that Montclair triple homicide authorities have released photos of the at-large suspect. It's a relative of the victim. A relative of the victim. The Supreme Court today hearing a case over holding Google liable for videos with harmful content. This is actually a really interesting case, and it's still unfolding. The ripple effect. Six Flags also going to hire over 1,500 employees during their spring hiring event. So there's that as well. I also mentioned those Lost at Sea movies. We got talking about Lost at Sea and the true story of this dude who was lost at sea, who survived for 30 days on just ketchup, those bouillon cubes, and a few spices that were on the boat. So the Heinz people were trying to get a hold of it, and that's how kind of the story has achieved a certain virality, and everybody's talking about it. But I asked, everybody was kind of kicking around these Lost at Sea movies,